finding function values. So what I want to do with each function is I want to evaluate each function at the given number. So what happens is you'll be given a function, whether it's f of x or g of x or h of x, they'll all be different functions, but they'll all be evaluated at some number. For example, for the first one, I'm given f of x is equal to 2x minus 6, and I want to find f of 2. So what that means is I'm going to replace this x with a 2. Everywhere I see an x, I'm going to replace that with a 2, and then I'm going to evaluate the expression. So for the first one, I need to find f of 2. So I start off by writing f of 2, and I'm going to replace every single x with a 2. So I'm going to have 2 times 2 minus 6. Notice that I replaced the x with a 2, and when I replace the x with a 2, I'm putting that 2 inside parentheses, so I don't confuse it with this 2 out in front. So if I keep on going, I notice that I have 2 times 2. I know that 2 times 2 is equal to 4, and then I bring down the minus 6. So then the last thing to do is to subtract. I have 4 minus 6, which is negative 2. So that's going to be my answer. So all I'm doing is I'm taking the function that I'm given, I'm replacing the variable with a number, and then I'm evaluating that function at that number. Let's look at number 2. I'm given g of x is equal to 3x squared, or 3 times x squared. And it's asking me to find g of negative 5. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to keep everything the same, except I'm going to replace the x with a negative 5. So we're going to replace the x with a negative 5 everywhere we see an x. So I write out g of negative 5. That's how I start off. The 3 is going to come down. I'm going to put x as negative 5 inside parentheses. And then I notice x is squared, so I have to square the negative 5. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to do exponents, because exponents are always done before multiplication when we do order of operations. Negative 5 squared is the same thing as negative 5 times negative 5, and that's going to give me a positive 25. So I get 3 times 25. Okay, now I only have one step left to do, and that is to multiply 3 by 25 to get 75. And that's my answer. Alright, for number 3, I'm given h of x is equal to 2 to the x plus 3 power. So this is a number raised to an exponent, and that exponent is going to be the expression x plus 3. Well, it tells me to find h of 0. So obviously, I'm going to let x be 0 and see what happens. So I start off with h of 0, and I keep the 2 the same. That's going to be my base. My exponent is going to be x plus 3, so that's going to be a 0 plus 3. Because all I'm doing is I'm replacing the x with a 0 and seeing what happens. So I bring down the h of 0, and I'm going to do the addition up here first. 0 plus 3 is 3, so I'm going to get 2 to the third power. So 2 to the third power, that would be the same thing as 2 times 2 times 2, and we know that's going to be 8. So 2 cubed is equal to 8. That's going to be my answer. So for every single function, I'm taking the variable and I'm replacing it with a number. And then after that, it's pretty easy to evaluate it. Okay? And that's function values. I hope that helps.